Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Making 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Fuse with Minato, Kushina, and Kurama. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over Anime King and Anime King 2. If you're new, yes, I did have 3 channels. Anime King and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, and I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. And don't forget to turn on that bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say we leap on into this new episode start? The intro. So the last time we left off, Danzo had sent his root ninjas to invade the rebellion forces so that he could get the Mizukage on Konoha's side. However, as they enter in Kiri, they found something strange was going on. The security was rather lax. That was confusing given that when the Mizukage was in charge, the security was tight because of the rebel forces. The root ninjas wonder if the rebellion was over. No, it couldn't be. A few days ago they were still going hot, so it couldn't be over. However, as they proceed towards the location, the Saints and the team found a bucket load of chakra. It seemed so unending, so powerful. The root ninjas knew that Danzo-sama would be happy if they were to get their hands on someone that powerful and bring him in the force, as those persons can be easily manipulated. So they were able to take out the guards and proceed. However, Naruto was having an internal monologue with himself. As he ran through his memories, he saw a child unknowing that it was him. However, the persona of Kushina and Minato and also Kurama started to take over as they started to argue. Kushina was downright furious as she witnessed everything that her son went through. Minato was apologetic, however he did what he thought was best for Konoha at the time. However, Kushina was pissed off. Kurama didn't seem to care, however he was angry that he had to be brought down to this level. As Naruto tried to retake focus of himself, as the internal struggle was a great one, however in the end, something snapped as all of that memory, everything, centuries upon centuries from Kurama came rushing back, everything, slamming into him like a tidal wave. The root ninjas were caught off guard when he just awoken. They tried to stop him, however he moved so fast as a Rasengan formed in his hand. The captain was shocked. 2 of them were able to escape, as the other 2 died. And one was blasted right through the hall with the Rasengan. The 2 that died, their body burned up, as the seal on their body activated, killing them instantly, so there wouldn't be any trace. Mei and the others arrived as they were all cautious, as Naruto's eyes were glowing in the darkness. As he asked to speak to her privately, but Ayo and Takashi arrived as well. As they sat down, Mei realized that something was wrong as Naruto was completely different. He was not acting like before. However, he seemed to know who he is right now, as he asked Mei if she knew who he is. They had came to the conclusion that he was a Uzumaki. However, given the history between the 2 nations, they didn't want to tell him. But Mei decided to just tell him the truth, and that was a good thing because he knew that he could trust her now. As he asked to speak to her alone, Ayo was not agreeable with this. However, she told him that it was fine, as she told him to leave. As she looked towards him and asked him, what was he gonna do now? He refused to tell her exactly who he was, saying that that information should not get back to her. as it wouldn't be good, those guys that came tonight. As once he did what he did, and they saw the move that he did, well, soon enough people be after him. So he had to leave, he had to figure out who he was now. She was confused by that statement, however. He did not oblige or tell her too much about himself. But he did tell her that he might be coming back, as she told him that she could make him a ninja here, and he's welcome here. As he was rather grateful for that, however, he had to get to know who he is right now, before he made up his mind. As she could understand that even though she did not understand his entire dilemma. The next morning, she was grateful enough to give him supplies as he said his goodbyes, thanking her for all that she did. However, she was the one that was grateful after all. He did take care of the Mizukage and wrestled back control over this land, which she was rather grateful for. So with that, Naruto said his goodbyes as he headed off. He knew exactly who he was. However, it was a mix-up between the three, but he had the knowledge of all, the techniques, everything of all of them combined. So he had to go out to find himself. He could not go back to Konoha because he was no longer Naruto Uzumaki. He will still keep the name Naruto, however, because of the treatment and because of the Kushina side, he would not go back to that village. He would rather chance himself on the road. So with that, he made his way. A few days after he left, the word started to spread about Naruto the Biju Killer. As Jiraiya got information as he returned to Konoha, Hiruzen was rather shocked when he heard that name. He didn't think that it was a coincidence that someone arriving here to help in the civil war right when Naruto went missing, and the person had enough power to take down Yagura. He decided to make Jiraiya do what he did good and go and search. And not only that, Danzo got back all of the information as he heard that. As he wondered who was this individual able to use the Rasengan. Now that was shocking. The Akatsuki also got back information as well, seeing that the Mizukage was under the masked man hypnosis, as they had no idea who this person was though to take down a Biju. However, the connection between the missing Jinchuriki and this person, they had the same name. However, this person was a lot older, so they had to make a move. Naruto found himself in a small settlement some days later, as he was sitting down enjoying some ramen. The shop owner realizing he was new to these parts because he never seen him before, as a woman arrived and sat down beside him. She had blue hair, brown eyes, and an origami flower in her hair, as she greeted him with a smile. So yeah guys, it's basically let's left off. You guys can switch across to the place, check of yourself, and yeah. How about we leap into this new episode without wasting any more time, guys? Let's begin now. Jiraiya of the Sannin was quickly making his way towards Kirin to find out any information that he could about this Naruto, the tail beast killer. Jiraiya knew that it was a long shot, a real long shot. However, if there was a will, there was a way. He had to try. He had to at least try, otherwise he couldn't rest. He had to try. That is why he continued to make his way towards Kirin, even while he was not sure about the situation there where the civil war now ending. And he also knew that they would not take kindly to Konoha ninjas after all. Konoha declined to help them when they asked for help. But still, he was just going there to gather as much as he could about this Naruto, to see if he had any link or any connection to their Naruto. The timing was just too coincidental. He just had to find out. Yes, it was a long shot, it might be nothing, however, he just had to make a move. However, the information was spreading around the Elemental Nation about Naruto the Tail Beast Killer. There wasn't much Jonins that would stand up to a Tail Beast, much less completely kill a perfect Jinchuriki. That was not really heard of in Jonin standards. That meant this person was above Jonin level, and he's just walking around here. A lot of other nations were trying to pull information together to get this person on their side. If he was lacking a village, a lot of them were all too welcome to welcoming him in their home, boosting and bolstering their ranks. As for the said Tail Beast Killer, he sat at the ramen shack. The blue-haired woman that just sat down beside him was staring at him, as he wasn't sure what was her problem. As he turned to face her, "Can I help you?" he said. You're him, aren't you? She said to him. Him? Said Naruto. Naruto. The tail beast killer, she said. You know me, he said, raising an eyebrow. Well, your name has sprung up overnight. A lot of people has been talking about you. Well, it figures. Being able to take down a tail beast is not really easy. Much less kill it, she said. So you can understand why most people are now speaking about you around the elemental nation. It's hard to reach that far, huh? So what? You here to ask me to join your village? Or to assassinate me as a future threat? Assassinating you would be a good deal right now for any other nation who don't like the competition, or the ones that don't get you on their side. So you should watch out for that. Giving me advice, even though I don't know you. I guess I should be grateful. That you should, she said. But I'm not here to kill you, or to ask you to join a village. So why are you here to speak to me, he asks. Who said I was here for you, she said, as she looked towards the menu. I guess you're right, he said, leaning back, as he returned back to his ramen. However, here we go, said Naruto as he turned towards her. How can I help you? Yes, that's right. I need your help, she said. How so? First of all, let me properly introduce myself. My name is Conan. She held out her hand. Because of fusing with the fox Naruto got its negative sense and emotion, and he could feel that this woman meant him no harm. However, her interest in him was a lot. As he took the hand and shook it. Well, you already know my name, Naruto. Is that all? No last name? Yes, that's all, he said. Alright then, she said, Naruto. I need your help with a mission. And what mission would that be? Well, considering that you stepped foot in Kiri and helped them won this civil war for the rebels. My, said Naruto. You know a lot, don't you? Well, in this ninja world, you have to know a lot, otherwise you will die. I guess you're not wrong there, said Naruto. So how can I help you? Well, you see, I'm embarking on this mission, and I would like you to assist me with it. So let me get this straight. You want me to help you on a mission? Are you crazy? He asks. As she raised her eyebrow, why would you think so? You just said that this world is well, let me put it gently, a chaotic place. And because of my recent exploits, people are going to be after me. And you expect me to just go along with you, someone I just met, to do a mission I know nothing about? Do you really think I'm that stupid? He asked her. Well, not really. But I guess I don't know you yet to judge how stupid you can be. Touché, said Naruto. Well, I'm not interested. As she tilted her head, why not? Because I don't know you. And why are you offering to help me? I'm not offering to help you. I'm offering to help myself. This mission can be rather dangerous. Then go ask another one of your friends, said Naruto. Don't really have any friends, she said. Oh, sorry about that. But it's still not my business. And I don't understand why I should care. You have a real bad attitude, you know that. No, not really. It's just towards people I don't really know. So can you leave now? As you can see, I'm busy. You know, I will split half of the commission with you. Another red flag, said Naruto. Why would you offer money to me? As he turned towards her, I can feel the chakra circulating through your body. And it's not a small amount. And judging from the way you keep yourself, I can see that you're a trained ninja. And by the way, Naruto pulled out a kunai so fast. As she saw him aim it towards her as he threw it, a paper shot up and deflected the kunai. As Naruto reached out and gripped the paper before she could recall it. As he held on to it. Now that's interesting. You're using Yang chakra to manipulate these papers, he said. As he looked it over. She raised her eyebrow at that, but she said nothing. A rather unique technique. I never thought you would be that special. I guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, she said. I guess you're right. However, with something like this, you shouldn't have a problem taking on the mission. Unless that mission is too dangerous for me, she said. After all, what's the point of getting paid if I don't get to spend my money? It will be a big waste of time. I guess you're right, said Naruto. Not saying yes, but what exactly is this mission? Well, it's quite simple. The person that is hiring us wants us to get rid of some unwanted guests. And who are these unwanted guests, said Naruto. Well, at the moment I'm not sure, however, there's a lot of them. And the person that is hiring us say that they're, well, immortal. Immortality. You're joking, right? No, she said. That is why this mission is so high profile. They've tried to kill these unwanted guests, however, they just won't seem to die. So that is why, from a few contacts I was called to help with this problem. However, I might have bit off more than I can chew. From the reports, there's a lot more than I expected. So I might be walking into something big here and getting myself killed. I'm a freelancer like yourself. I take odd jobs every now and then to keep myself going and alive. He could tell that she was not lying, as her words were truthful. However, there was something there. She was not telling the whole truth. But about the part of her being a freelancer taking jobs, she did. However, there was something there that he just couldn't wrap his finger around. But Naruto did not trust her one bit. After all, after everything just came out, she just happened to find him and now wanted his help with a job. Little did he know, she was leading him right into a trap. Well, you're not really lying to me about the first part, said Naruto. But how did you find me? Oh, it wasn't that hard. I simply went to Kiri and started to track your location. You don't even know me, why did you thought I was gonna help you, said Naruto. Well, you did help out the entire village and just left. So I figured that you were doing good deeds. Does anyone do any good deeds in Elemental Nation? Don't really know. But like I said, I don't know you to judge you yet. I guess you're right there, said Naruto. You know what? Security said, I'll take this mission of yours. After all, a small smirk came on Naruto's face. He was gladly to face any challenges. His new dominating side would not allow him to back away from something, because he feared nothing, and if she brought him into a trap, he would just crush all of them others might. Hey Conan. Yeah? Know this though. If you do betray me, well, it will be easier, said Naruto. What will, she said. I wouldn't have to feel any remorse when I kill you, he said. One thing you should know about me, I don't take lightly to liars. Well, it's a good thing I'm not lying, Naruto, she said. And let's keep it that way. So, why don't you lead the way? Conan made her way as she walked with him. As she remembered what happened a few days ago. Flashback. The masked man stood in front of her and Nagato. Conan never trusted Madara, or did she like him one bit, as she was never willing to go along with his schemes. But Nagato said that if he ever crossed a line, he would just kill him, so she had nothing to fear. What did you find out? Asked Nagato as he looked towards the man, as he was in control of the Tendo path. Well, for one thing, the differences are plain and seeable. Zetsu was able to gather information. This person is in his late teens, or probably early 20s. We're not sure about his age range. His description with the Kyuubi Jinchuriki is nothing similar. He has red hair with blonde highlights coming down into his face. From what Zetsu was able to gather, the battle was mostly one-sided once the three-tailed transformed. That meant the power that he currently has at his disposal, he's able to use it to toy with the three tails. That meant this person is nothing normal at all. We still don't know the full depths of his power. It's still rather coincidental that once the Kyuubi Jinchuriki died, this person emerged. What are you saying, Saitendo? Well, you possess eyes, that can grant miracles that normal people see as divinity. Do you really think it's so strange that something might have happened? The child was presumed dead in the vast oceans of the land of Wave, which has a steady stream that goes straight towards the islands of Kiri. How strange would it have been for him to wash up on the islands? But that still doesn't explain a sudden growth, said Conan. And why wouldn't he return back to his village? That I'm not so sure about. But that is where you steps in. Me? Said Conan. Exactly. He's on his own right now. Who better to be at his side than the angel of the land of rain? Conan's eyes narrowed. Do you think I'm some kind of pawn to be used? She asks. Of course not, he said. However, for the organization's goal, this is necessary. If he is truly the Jinjulki of the Kyuubi, we will need to keep a close eye on him. The entire world is going to be gunning for him soon, with the power that he possesses, especially with him not being from the main village. Sooner or later there will be attempts on his life as well. Because if they can't have him, they will try to eliminate him. They will not allow the balance of power to shift in the elemental nation, and you all know that. However, if he's not the Kyuubi Jinjulki, this is a good chance for us to gain another powerful ally. And what exactly are you suggesting? Asked Pain as he looked towards him. The masked man, one lone eye turned towards Conan. She could tell that the man was grinning, and it pissed her off. End of flashback. So that was the plan. Since she arrived towards the location, she has been suppressing herself, not really giving off anything. Feelings otherwise towards him, not knowing if he was able to censor at all, as she was keeping herself calm, making sure not to give away too much. However, the underlying threat that he gave her a moment ago, she could tell that he was dead serious. However, they indeed have a mission after all. The Akaskis are mercenaries. However, instead of the others taking this mission, she'll be the one taking this mission, along with him. So with that, the both of them moved out, as they didn't really have anything linking them to any special places, well, him especially. But she had the hidden ring, but for now, she was working undercover to find out who exactly this person was. Time skip. In Konoha, Danzo stood in front of Harrison within the office. I presume that you heard. I have Jiraiya. Checking out the details of what is exactly going on there. Tell me, Danzo. What do you know? Harrison said, knowing that Danzo probably already made a move. Something is seriously wrong. And for once I don't have an answer to give you. This person, whoever it is, knows how to use the Rasengan. Harrison looked at the man shocked. What? Concerned that there's only a few people in the world that knows how to use the technique. It is rather shocking to me as well. So you're saying that this person that is known as Naruto, the Tail Beast Killer, knows how to use the Rasengan? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, said Danzo. However, the age difference between this person and a child is a long one. So I'm not exactly sure how this is linked to that child. But given the stream of the river that connects from a land of wave, there is a high chance that his body could have ended up within Kiri. Yes, that is true, but that still does not explain how. His age, and not to mention from the description he has right here. The ninja world is a strange place, Harrison. Many unknown things can happen at any time. The possibility might be slim that this is him. However, the name and this occurrence, given how long the civil war has been taking place, and this one man just arrived and ended the whole thing by killing Mizukage, I doubt that this is any coincidence. So you truly believe that this has something to do with Naruto, or directly links us to him? If we don't do some more investigation, we are fools for not doing so. But if this is Naruto, which I am presuming to believe what you think, why has he not returned home? That is the confusing part. Given how much this child has been treated badly in this village, and yet he still loved this village and wished to become Hokage, I doubt that he would stay away. Harrison felt bad about that part. Of course, he knew that Naruto never had a good life growing up. But there was just too much similarities between this person, not to mention now, he knew the Rasengan. That didn't make sense. The only person that knew the Rasengan was Jiraiya, Kakashi, and the others were dead. So that was a wide stretch. Naruto did not know that technique, so why was there so much similarities? Harrison glanced up as he saw Danzo looking towards a wall. He trailed the man's eyesight and saw the man looking at the fourth Hokage photograph. I will do some more digging, Harrison. Until then, I trust that you will inform me what Jiraiya finds. As long as you do the same, Harrison said, as he simply nodded. Danzo left the office. He was able to use Torun to go through the Envu Captain mind and link them, so that he could see the events that transpire. However, the person that was lying on that bed, with that red blonde hair, their facial features were so similar to Minato. It was staggering now that Danzo looked at it. But how can that be possible? Minato died 12 years ago. Something was just not added up here. Something just did not make sense. And Danzo was at a loss, because he had no idea what the hell was going on. Meanwhile, Sasuke Uchiha, today was his day off, but yet, he did not stop. Over the past few weeks, Sasuke has gotten rather stronger than before. Naruto's death had opened his eyes a lot. It made him see how cruel this world truly is, and that any time anyone's life could be taken away. And there was a possibility that he could die before he ever got his revenge. That is why he kicked his training up a notch. Team 7 was falling apart. Not at a viewing standards, but however, at a talking standards, it was strange. As they just realized now that Naruto was a buffer, the one that kept the conversation going, but without him, Sakura didn't talk at all. However, Sasuke was the one that was not saying anything, so she couldn't really ask him out on any dates, because whenever he turned her down, she had turned her sights towards Naruto to cheer her up. But now that he was not there, well, she just felt worse and worse. And the more he started turning her down, the more her feelings for him was going down, and that was unaware to him, because he really did not care one crap about her, to be perfectly frank. After all, to him she was nothing but a fangirl, who should have been dropped from the program and put real ninjas that could actually aid him. However, Sasuke was determined to make his name known through the entire Elemental Nation in this upcoming Chunin exams. They were all informed by Kakashi what was taking place right now, and if Konoha shows any weakness, that sooner or later they will be attacked. That is why he will not rest, as he will show the might that he possesses, and there will be absolutely no one that will stand in his way. And once he was done here, he will go for Itachi and end his life, just like he planned. As Sasuke continued training, unaware that he was being watched in the far distance. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto walked his hands in his pockets as someone came flying down towards him. Her paper release bloodline was rather unique. It was a manipulation of being chakra. However, in contrast to her paper release, it was rather unique, as she landed beside him, her wings folding in her back. So this contact of yours, what is going on? Well, I've spoken directly to the village leader. The locations of these, well, he calls them barbarians because of the things that they are known to do. This village is at an intersection between 4 other main lands. Thus, if they control the main inner sector, they're able to cut traffic between all the 4 lands and get a lot of, well, kills, because that is all they seem to be interested in: killing people, spilling blood. So far there has been 52 murders in the span of a couple of weeks, and they have just moved into this territory. The people are tired of it. That is why the commission is so high to get rid of them. So our job is to exterminate the entire area. Leave no survivors. They want the place completely eradicated. I'm sure that you don't have a problem with that. After what these guys have done, they deserve to burn in the deepest pits of hell. And besides, it's a job. Who am I to complain? I like your philosophy, said Conan. She was playing her role rather well. Of a more down-to-earth, cheery, calm person. And so far it was working. However, she could tell that he was ready for anything at any time. The way he carried himself, he might look like he was unprepared for the untrained eye, but she could tell at a moment's notice he was able to jump into guard. The location varied, so I'm not exactly sure where they're here at the moment, she said, looking around. You don't have to worry about that. I got that covered. She watched as he walked over as he placed his hand in the ram seal before placing another hand on the ground. She felt a small pulse. Before that pulse returned back to him. A touch sensor, she wondered to herself. Touch sensors are rather rare. The thing was, making contact to feel out their enemies was a rather unique thing to do, because it was a lot better than a normal sensor because they could spread their influence a far longer distance because of their touch. And most people are not born with this rare unique ability. You're a touch sensor, she said. Correct, said Naruto. You know, you're an oddity. Not many people can do that nowadays. I know, he said. You know, answering me this way is not going to help anyone. You have your secrets, I have mine. Let's just keep that to ourselves, shall we? I suppose you're right. After all, we're not exactly friends. Just mutual associates, coming together to fulfill a benefit that can help both of us. Exactly, said Naruto. There's a large gathering, however. Their chakra pool is nothing really special. They barely have enough chakra like you, one-on-one. So I don't think that they're any of a threat. Well, their chakra might be low, however. From what I was told, it seems like their bodies can withstand damage that normal people cannot. So we have to be cautious. That is one of the main reasons I seek you out. To use me as a shield, he asks. Well, I can do that, however. I heard of your rather destructive power. I'm thinking that if you were able to, well, tear them apart, I doubt they will be able to regenerate from that, despite their super regeneration ability, because that must be the case. After all, we both know that no one is truly immortal. You know, you could be wrong, and we might be walking into a nest of truly immortals, and thus we will have no chance of killing them, and then you would end up dying. Why would I be the one to die? What about you? Even if they're immortals, they're nothing compared to me, he said. You know, being a bit too overconfident can get you killed. They were walking as they were talking. Well, what can I say? I guess I'm just different. We should really take cover and scout out the area. Not just... And you're not listening to me, are you? Not really, he said, walking ahead of her. As they arrived towards the location, Conan did not fear anyone in there, but she had to play her role well. And so far, she was working her persona. But him on the other hand, he seemed to fear not a single soul in this world. The way he confidently walked into a trap if it was one, not caring. The words died in her throat as she was about to say them when he started to release an obscene amount of chakra. Conan felt her entire body tingling. What the hell? The groan exploded under his feet as he took in a deep breath before he roared. Conan watched with shock. Stones and giant boulders were blown apart as he created a mighty chasm, leaving a large trench tearing through the defenses. She quickly got to his side. Well, when they say grand entrance, I guess they had nothing on you. Several people started to gather as she said that, all of them with different kinds of sights and blades. However, they start to part. bowing their head as someone stepped forward. "What the hell is going on out here?" he said. "Who is responsible for this?" He had grey slicked back hair. He was wearing jeans and a shirt. There was a sight on his back, with 3 prompts on it, 3 blades, each one a bit smaller than the other, as they were curved. "I presume you're the leader," said Naruto. "Yeah. Well, I'm Hidan and these are my acolytes. And who the hell are you?" "The name is Naruto, but it doesn't really matter. I guess I'm here to kill you." Hidan started to laugh. "And what's so funny?" Naruto asks. "You will see in a moment or two. Why don't you go ahead and kill me?" "Much obliged." A chain ripped through Hidan's chest as he coughed up blood. However, he started to laugh. "Now you see why I was so amused." "Huh." Naruto turned towards Konan. "I hit him directly in the heart. However, he's still standing. It seems we're screwed. He is immortal." "So you've heard about me," said Hidan. "Well, I guess you're here to join my organization." "You call these bunch of worthless worms organization? Don't you dare disrespect my acolytes, because doing that you disrespect me. And disrespecting me means that you're disrespecting my lord. And anyone that disrespects Lord Jashin will die." "Lord Jashin? I've heard about that religion. Some sort of demon. Some backwater demon that you worship. Isn't that right?" "What did you just say?" The other man started to get rather angry. Konan floated up in the air. "So, all of them immortal as well?" "Don't worry, I'll check." Another chain shot from Naruto's palm, piercing through the head of another. However, his body slumped down. It seems he's the only immortal one here. "Why don't you take care of these guys, Konan? And I'll take care of their leader." Hidan pulled himself off the chain. "You have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. I'll make sure that your ward is sacrificed for Lord Jashin." He didn't move as he swung the light. Naruto proceeded to duck underneath as Konan watched him. Hidan twirled his leg around as he brought the sight down. It clashed against the ground, but Naruto was already mid-air. He brought his leg down. The force that dropped into Hidan's skull was enough to kill a normal man. However, Hidan's brain just rattled. His head smashing into the earth, cracking the front of his forehead opened up as he started to bleed. However, Hidan simply picked himself back up. "What the hell don't you understand immortality is? You can't kill me. And you never will," said Hidan as he swung his light, as Naruto weaved underneath it once again. "You might be unable to die, however, you're completely incompetent, and rather pathetic as well." "You're just pissing me off," Hidan said, as he started to slash at Naruto. The acolytes did not got involved. They watched as Hidan slash and twist and slash, however Naruto evaded all of them. "Just as I thought. Absolutely pathetic," said Naruto. He raised his hand and grabbed the intersection of Hidan's sight and flipped over before he yanked. However, Hidan smirked as he pulled on the card. The sight slashed Naruto right under his chin. As Naruto wasn't expecting there to be something holding on to it, Hidan smirked as he pulled out a pike and stabbed himself. As Naruto tilted his head confused. "Now you shall understand the true word of Lord Jashin," he said. Naruto watched as he started to wipe his blood on the ground and making some kind of seal. He then licked the blood off his sight. "Enough of your nonsense," said Naruto as he stabbed Hidan through the shoulder with a chain. However, Naruto grunted in pain. Konan looked down. What the hell just happened, she thought. As Naruto found himself bleeding, Hidan simply chuckled some more. "Now, let me make you experience pain like you've never experienced before." Hidan stabbed the pike in his leg as he ripped it out. As Naruto looked down towards his leg, a hole opened up as he winced a bit. Hidan slashed himself across the chest. As he slashed himself, Konan landed beside Naruto. "What the hell is going on?" she said. "You somehow link yourself to me." Whatever he feels, I feels. But this dick is immortal, so he can't really die. Huh, it seems you're smart. Too shame that you step into my place and decide to forfeit your life. To my lord, Hidan said, as he brought his hand to his face in a praying motion. As Naruto reviewed everything that happened so far. His blood, that he licked off the sight, that symbol. Idea popped into his head as he started to walk forward. Hidan stabbed himself in his leg as Naruto staggered a bit. It seems like you're mistaken. If you think this sort of pain can actually slow me down. Hidan smirked as he drive the sight into his stomach. However, Naruto keeled over, but he did not fall. As a grin spread across Naruto's face. Oh, I guess we're getting fun now, he said. Hidan raised the elbow as he stabbed himself in his shoulder. Why won't you go down, he said. Because as I said before, you're pathetic. Just because you're wounding me now doesn't mean that you're above me. And let me show you that. Your wounds mean nothing to me. These sort of small infractions cannot stop someone like myself. Konan took in everything that he said and his personality as he shot 2 chains from his back. To Konan's shock, he stabbed Hidan in the arms. And they also stabbed him as well. But he didn't seem to care, instead he was grinning. You think this pain is enough to slow me down? Well, you're mistaken, said Naruto as he leaped forward. He gripped Hidan by the face and he shoved him out of the circle. As Hidan was unable to move his arms. Now, said Naruto, let's see who is stronger, me or myself. As he punched Hidan in the face. Hidan gripped his face as his nose shattered. As Naruto reached up, but he didn't feel any pain. So I was right. You bastard, Hidan said. He could not move his hands because Naruto had stabbed him right through the joints. Acolytes! Kill him, he said. They all raged as they rushed forward, however Konan flew past Naruto as she raised her hand. Papers started to flutter out with explosive notes. Explosions went off, blowing everything asunder. As Naruto lifted Hidan up by his face before he slammed him into the ground. So you won't die, huh? Said Naruto. As he raised his leg before he dropped it in Hidan's face, crushing his face into the ground. He removed his chains before he grabbed Hidan by the throat and launched him backwards. Hidan slowly picked himself up as he pulled on the cord, pulling back his sight. However, Naruto stomped on it, stopping it from reaching him as he severed it with a wind slash. Hidan had a pissed off, bloody face. You're gonna pay for this. I cannot be killed, and I am going to kill you, said Hidan. I'm going to tear you limb from limb. You just watch. As Naruto spread his arms, well then, do your worst. Hidan rushed forward, rage in his eyes. However, Naruto slipped underneath the punch before he brought his fist up. The amount of chakra he generated in his fists was nothing normal. A sound wave went off as there was a boom as Hidan's head snapped to the sky. A cracking sound as Naruto fractured his jaw. Naruto jumped above him before he slammed his hand into his skull, cracking Hidan's skull as blood poured out of the man's eyes. You know, being unable to die is also rather shitty, because when I do this, Naruto brought his hand down. The spectral of wind that came down with it sliced Hidan's left arm off. He then brought it up and take his left leg off. Right leg, right arm. Then he sliced his head clean off. As Hidan was parts on the ground. You bastard, Hidan said. I'll bite you to death. Holy shit, said Naruto. Huh. I guess you really are immortal. You know, I was second guessing things, thinking that it was just some super regeneration, but this is just insane. As Naruto grabbed his silver hair and walked it over to the slide, Hidan cursed and tried to bite him the entire way. As Naruto pulled his hand back, looking towards the vase. Not so large, but it was large enough. As he then launched the head right through the ear. It crashed right into the small pond over to the side. as it sank. As Naruto grabbed his arms and legs and tossed them in other, different directions. Before he slammed his hand down towards the ground and manipulated Earth nature. The ground split open as Naruto dropped, his torso inside. Let's see him come back from that. That was rather brutal, said Konan. Well, he can't die, what do you expect me to do? I guess you're right. And you say I'm brutal, he said, looking behind her. Well, it's for the money after all. Well then, let's go get paid. Konan discreetly dropped papers everywhere. Hidan limbs were located. Sometime later, Hidan was at the bottom of the ocean. As he was pissed off. He had drowned a lot of times, however he could not die. It was agonizing until something fished him out. What the hell? Who is that? He said, his eyes, as his entire being was just soaked with water. Your savior, a voice said, as Hidan was pulled to shore by someone. Time skip, you know. When I first accepted this job, I never expected this to be the outcome, said Naruto, as he received his payment from Konan. What exactly did you expect? Us fighting in the end, said Naruto. But I guess you kept your word. I did. And you kept yours as well. So what now, said Naruto. Any more jobs? Well, not yet. However, there should be some more coming in. But I have to return. Where, said Naruto. Well, we both have our secrets. And we're not friends, are we, she said. I guess you're right there, however. I can't deny the money will help a lot. Alright then, she said, as she handed him a piece of paper. What's this? A way for me to find you. So I can stop in every now and then. So I can give you a job. If you want to help out. Well, I wouldn't mind being one of your contractors, said Naruto. Well, you would be my first, she said. Well, all the better, said Naruto. Well, it was fun working with you. You were not what I was expecting either. I'll be in touch, she said. You do that, said Naruto, as wings sprouted from her back, as she flew off. Well, that was adventurous, he thought to himself, as he calmly made his way, putting his coat on. A distance away as Konan flew through the air. She had to say, that was fun. Growing up in the Hidden Rain, life was never really fun after the wars and everything. And she spent her entire life trying to, well, bring peace with her friends. One of them died, leaving the other one, and things went downhill. She never had a chance to actually do anything. But yet here she tried a new restaurant. She spent time with someone she first met. And it was actually fun playing this persona. She actually liked herself more like this, instead of being that cold, calculated person. And not to mention it was fun hanging out with him. However, that money just cost the Akatsuki. After all of that should be going to the organization, but she had to split it with him. But he was worth it, she thought to herself. But so far she still did not know if he was Naruto or not. For one thing, his personality was, well, it was strange. It was like most time he was someone else. And yet he was Naruto, but someone else completely. She did not know what the kid was like, so she wouldn't be able to tell. However, one moment he was Naruto, the one that she met at the shack where he was eating ramen. Next moment he was this overconfident, powerful being that cannot be touched or harmed by anyone. She didn't know where he get that personality from, but still. Well, at least it suits him, having that amount of power. Not to mention, because of that guy's immortality, it was hard to take him down, not to mention the pain didn't seem to bother him. And his wounds heal at an abnormal rate, which usually happen to Jinchuriki containers. However, she did not feel any demonic chakra at all. Not a single drop of it. But his wounds healed so fast. Something like that was unnatural and she knew it. Right now she was gonna go to report back in. At least he wasn't asking her any questions. But he had no idea who she was, so that was a good thing. With that, she made her way back towards the Hidden Rain. Time skip a few days later. Information was not really kept secret in the Elemental Nation, and given Naruto descriptions were going around, people were claiming to see him everywhere. But the most recent sighting was near Yakigakura, where the group of bandits, or as the leader had called them, barbarians, were taken care of. There was no obligation for him to keep any secrets, and not to mention a few villagers that saw the man. Several girls were interested in his looks. After all, they say that he was handsome. The leader did not see Naruto himself, however, he did spoke to the women that came to solve the problem, as she was a part of a specialized organization. But they were just groups mixed together, so he was not going to be telling anyone about that. That was a different deal. However, this Naruto guy was the one to help her in this endeavor. With the money that he received, he stopped in the village hotels, and he spent a day there before he headed off once again. They did not know where he was going or where he came from. At the moment though, the Raikage stood behind his decks as he looked towards Darui, who was in front of his decks. "I want this person to find immediately," the Raikage said. A rather bulky man with dark skin, blonde hair and small dreads tied back. "The other nations are gonna be after him. I wouldn't be surprised if they're after him right now, however. I want him brought here. So far with what he's doing, it seems like he's not a part of any of the great nations, as no one has claimed him so far. With someone that possessed such power to be walking around, sooner or later people will start to target him because they will believe that he will not join any of the great nations. Power like that cannot just go unchecked. I'm sure Oniki will be making a move very soon. And I'm sure that he would love the protection of an entire village behind him. That is why I need him found immediately and brought to me." Meanwhile, the Hidden Stone. As Oniki looked over the latest reports, "Have we got any sightings on him?" "No, my lord, but we've found out the recent location that he's been, and there has been talks from the villagers that he's been there quite recently, so it's only a matter of time before we find him directly." "Alright," Oniki said. "When he is found, bring him directly to me. I will make him a proposition that he cannot refuse. I can't have any of the other nations getting their hands on him." At Konoha, as a group of people were sitting down, some of the other Jonins. "So you heard, huh?" said Anko as she looked towards the others. "How couldn't we? I mean, his name is all around the Elemental Nation. This unknown guy. However, his name is strangely the same as our former Jinchuriki. Yeah, that's rather strange. There has been some talks from some of the other shinobis believing that it's him." "Asuma, don't be ridiculous. Naruto was just a child. This is said to be a man in his early 20s or late teens." "But what if it is him?" said Anko. "And how could that be possible?" said Kurenai. "I don't know. This is a ninja world after all. Do you think the Hokage is gonna make a move to get him to join our side?" "I'm not sure yet, but every village is probably going after him right now. I mean, with that kind of power, why would they let it go unchecked? This guy is really stirring up the Elemental Nation badly." Meanwhile, Orochimaru chuckled to himself. The world was proving to be more eventful than he thought. Who was this unknown Naruto that popped out of nowhere and was now throwing the world in turmoil? "Orochimaru-sama, as Kabuto arrived, a few of our spies near the village hidden in the hills have spotted this unknown person moving towards the east of there." Orochimaru smiled. "Wonderful," he said to himself. He didn't know who this person was, but his power got everyone on edge, and Orochimaru would like to meet him for himself and see what he was capable of. As for Jiraiya, as he was making his move, Jiraiya was tracking the trail as he had found it, and he was making his way after this person. Right now he knew that the Elemental Nation was keeping their eyes on him. However, Jiraiya wanted to see if this was Naruto or not. But if it was not, Hiruzen would want him to make a proposal for him to join Konoha. After all, right now the nations were in a tense situation with Konoha losing their Jinchuriki. Whoever has the most competent shinobis will prove to be the strongest, and there was no sooner time than for them to attack the other nations. As people really need to gather their strong forces right now, otherwise, things would be bad. Really, really bad. However, so far Naruto has not been interrupted by anyone, as he calmly made his way towards a bar. As he thought about it, he had all this money now. He wanted to try drinking. After all, everything was like a new experience to him. He was a new person after all. As he stepped inside said bar, and he was making his way towards one of the booths, when he noticed someone. Wait. As he pushed past the crowd, he followed said persons. They were making their way outside. Going after said persons, he opened the door and pushed out. He couldn't see them anywhere. He then saw the person turn the alley. As he made his way around it, the moment he did, he had to duck instantly as a fist almost knocked him in the face. He backpedaled. Another debt collector, huh? Well, unfortunate for you, I'm gonna have to knock you out. Because you didn't see me here. Debt collector? The woman rushed towards him. Snatty, wait, he said. But guys, if you subscribe right here, if you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification, stay posted about both. For now, see you guys soon. Peace.